little shit with you. Oh, you lying. Man, goddamn. Where do I begin? Goddamn. What do I? Is this shit recording? I don't know what I was talking about upload. But today is July 16th, 2024. And I guess today, a nigga want to give a light testimony. I don't know how short or how long this shit gonna be, but it's gonna be a testimony. Let me start this off first by saying, you look down there, no way pop, it means no obstacles will apprehend you, prosper over pain. God damn it. That's what we do. We allow no obstacles to apprehend us, and we prosper over whatever pain that comes with whatever path, whatever experience that we take head on. And that's how we live. I live by that. That is my name. It's tatted. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, we gonna go over how life is cyclical. It's not a straight line. It's not horizontal. Hell, it may not even be diagonal or vertical, to be corrected, because I know people gonna make fun of a nigga. But it's cyclical, man. And let's give a slight representation. Oh shit. Of how cyclical it is. So if you watch my other videos, you've understood how I brought forth how I had a breakthrough that I didn't understand was a breakthrough. Just thought it was some shit. We have been reading this book, Cosmic Doctrine, The Unfortunate, with the nigga Travis Mages. My nigga. My nigga. Big salute to him. If you have not followed his YouTube channel, liked and subscribed to the channel or commented, you should. Travis Mages, LVX 777. Now, in this book, she brings up aspects about how the whole cosmos came into being, because you got to understand the cosmos and the universe are two separate things. The cosmos withholds the universe. Maybe universes. Nigga. It's crazy. It's not crazy, but at the same time, it was a hell of a breakthrough. And it was a time like couple months before Khadijah and them had announced Panic died. I had been heavy and grinding, getting this money, nigga. I'm out here getting this money. Prosperity. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, prosperity means more than money, but nonetheless, it was coming in. It did. So, with that being said, I end up tapping into trying to go the logical route and grabbing a sigil book and trying to come up with certain sigils, because I dwindled down from them. I'm like, bro, I'm missing what I'm supposed to be doing. And when I say missing, I mean I'm supposed to be focused on this study. We gonna get into it today. So, in long story short, I end up trying to read the book and logically, which I know, like, I don't even do that type shit when I tap into magic for some reason, right? But let me tell you how everything works in the way it's supposed to work out. Even though I was going to some logical shit instead of using an abstract mind and creative artistic mind that I have, it still led me to the way that I was supposed to go. That's why I say no obstacles will apprehend you, man. It don't matter what you thinking about is gonna block or can stop or none of that. I don't live my life like that. I remember Penny used to bring up that's how Bobby Hemming lived his life, and he figured it out. He was like, "Oh damn, I get it. That we God, so this nigga makes everything work in his favor, no matter what." He was telling a story about how Penny told him how, like, "Hey, I went and grabbed me some Chinese food. Oh man, yeah, man, they was arguing back there and they cooked my food. I got sick." He's like, "Oh yeah, Or that's good, Panic. See, now the spirits saying that because you need to cleanse, you need to cleanse, you need to cleanse it out. And then the other time he gets some food. Damn, what did he say? And the other time he go get some Chinese food. See, now look, you can't be having people argue over your food and this and this and that. Either way it go, he end up making how the situation can work out in his favor. You see what I'm saying? He said like one time he'll tell him, yeah, anyway, the point is, make all this shit work in your favor. Don't maybe at the beginning you may have to force yourself to believe that, but then it comes naturally. In my life, it has come naturally by understanding this abstract thought in mind. And it came from me from watching so much fucking Bobby Hemmett, so much fucking Panic. And what I was doing while I was getting the information he was putting out, I was getting the methodology of how to use this mind with this type of information, because you're not going to be able to use with the type of information you've grown up with in tradition or society. You're not going to be able to use that type of mind coming into this type of information. And that's what I like to tell a lot of people, like dealing with spiritual shit, bro. Like, your ego is supposed to shed. Your ego should be shedding the deeper you get into spiritual information. Humility should be a lovely thing. You see what I'm saying? Not humility as you going outside, as a man going outside, it's fucking freezing cold, and everybody see his dick on small. And not that level of, not that degree of humility, but to say you don't know. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's a hard thing to say you don't know, especially for people like me, right? Because my life, we're gonna get into this cycle shit. My life has been always, and it resonated with me when Panic said the shit. And this is no way, no how in comparison with that man in his life and what he's went through, but I see similarities, right? My whole life, my friends, family, classmates, well, in certain instances in school, have always asked me the answers. They always came to me for the answers. Let's say in real life, in the street shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Coming up in the streets, like the killers, the niggas who niggas feared, them niggas felt a safe and comfortable place to come talk to me about shit they was going through, like really on a spiritual level after doing so much fuck shit they have done. Or in this case, it may be motherfuckers calling me, asking me about relationships and telling me this and this and that about their problems. And for some reason, they figure I had the answer. Or when we played games in the hood, niggas would ask me, like, God damn, like, bro, you can't do that shit, can you, bro? Man, let Joe, bro, can you do that? You see, you can't do that shit, can you? Or you can do this shit, can you? Ain't this the way you supposed to play? Like, niggas always came to me figuring, like, this nigga know the answer. I'm like, how the back then I had no problem with it. I never even thought about it consciously. So I have to do some meditation on that. Like why people always felt that. I don't know. At this point I'm just thinking about it. I've thought about this over my since I became conscious, but I haven't actively put in the work yet to try to see like where the fuck did that stem from. Now, granted, it comes from I need to do that chart that Travis did where he breaks it down where it comes from like okay, I identify as no way, then I identify as Joe, then this, and then my genetic, then species, then comes down from the archangel level. And so it comes from an archetype. And my archetype, that's what we're going to get into today. That's why this has the life path number 8. It's an archetype, right? And going into the Kabbalah, man, this Kabbalah something, man. Shout out to Trav, man. Shout out to Trav because I never got into the Kabbalah, because my teachers kind of I wouldn't say shunned over it, spoke about it, but didn't really go into depth. So I ran straight into the dark side shit. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, Penny gave a nigga a very quick ego check when niggas doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Dark side, dark side, evil, evil. This some ego is shit. You see what I'm saying? And you just as much as a failure as the people who you say follow a certain religion. You know what I'm saying? So you just as much as a failure as the people that you say follow religion and they are failures in this spiritual shit. You say, not I say, not we say, because we get to higher levels of understanding, we see what the fuck they doing, whether they know it or not. So that dark side shit, you know what I'm saying? Like just strictly dark side, that's stupid. Because this shit is all about polarities. You see what I'm saying? It's all about the conscious and the subconscious, which is all about the conscious and the subconscious mind. Merging together. What does that become? The young fortune breaks it down as the superconscious. When you get the two in alignment and working together as a team, the masculine and the feminine principle working together as a team. Shakti and Shiva. Goddamn, I almost fucked it up. Shiva and Shakti. Or Purusha and Prakriti. These two energies of the same force veered away from each other, and then they come back together and understand each other, and they balance each other out. Next level, that's what we get into. So when we understand that, because I think she said in one of these books, the student will receive, or one of these books I've been reading, I can't fucking tell you, will receive a message from his master, his teacher, subconsciously. Subconsciously. You will receive it subconsciously, nigga. Subconsciously. Messages will be relayed to the student subconsciously. Damn, I wish I had knew it. I want to say it's the cosmic doctrine, but at the same time, I don't feel like it is. I feel like it's one of these yoga books. Could it be Samkhya Darshan? I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember. But you receive these messages, right? So let's go back to how we're talking about cycles, right? And when we think about cycles, the number 8, right? The number 8. The year is 2024, the year of the dragon. The dragon coils up in the number 8, just the serpent, the dragon, the same shit. You see what I'm saying? The serpent, the dragon, the number 8, cycles. You have to build what my nigga Trav been saying, build up your library of correspondences. That's what I've been doing lately. Um, injecting certain more now specific data into the subconscious mind. Into the subconscious mind because I know I've grasped knowing and understanding now that when I do this, I'm building up my library of correspondences. I'm also building up my what's the right word? A variety of seeds that can be planted in a garden. So that way I just don't be growing fucking peaches, goddamn apples. I can have some carrots, some celery. You know what I'm saying? I can have a walnut tree. And I can have a whole fucking forest or a whole fucking jungle or a whole fucking farm building up my library of correspondences. And I'm speaking in an abstract way that correlates to understandings of different consciousness awarenesses of this whole fucking manifest reality and beyond it, the micro and the macro. So I'm building this up. This is what this spiritual work is about. You see what I'm saying? So putting all this into the subconscious mind and I synthesize all that shit into the conscious mind. And I be able to philosophize it, also be able to do ceremonial magic with it. Everybody doing magic any goddamn way. So some people know, and some people seem to think it's this sacred thing. I mean, it is. It should be in a certain sense, especially ceremonial magic, right? And I am speaking in the context of ceremonial magic. But on the daily, everybody's doing magic. But I'm talking about the people coming to this spiritual shit like, yeah, I do magic. You can't fuck with me. Don't fuck with me. I put a hex on you. Like, Man, oh my, have I grown past that level of childishness. And I get it, people there. I'm not bashing them, but I'm here to speak from a point of like, hey, I was there. Check out what I'm saying. Check out what I'm saying. It's deeper than that, and quite more simpler than that. Once you get to understanding shit, right? So I got off topic. I feel like that's the same shit Penny used to do, but he'll go into a tangent. But it was meaningful to the listener. You see what I'm saying? Because they get to connecting shit with their life. You see what I'm saying? So no obstacles we apprehend. Y'all may have thought that was an obstacle, but it's not, because that's going to connect with somebody at some point. So during that time, trying to come up with the sigil, reading the book, trying to do this shit the logical way. I'm like, man. So I'm doing and reading the book, fall asleep, doze off. Some people probably heard this, but for the first people for people who coming in now to see this nigga, check this out. Boom. Mm-hmm. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? No way. What the fuck is that, Joe? What the fuck is that, my Gnosis? See the little what's name up there? My Gnosis. The fuck is that? Life works in cycles, my brother. So, in one of these books, they said you will receive, the student, when he's ready, will receive a message from the master or the teacher through the subconscious mind. When you're going to sleep, that's what you're going to tap into. I guess we can get deeper than that, but let's just say that for all intents and purposes of this video, subconscious mind, because we can go into the unconscious. Let's stop there. So, and the subconscious mind works through what? Signs and symbols. That's what Penny came here to teach a nigga. That's what his whole thing was about. The subconscious mind and the conscious mind, the ego. Right? That is what I got as soon as I woke up. Now, now I'm learning to look at this like, damn, okay, I'm looking at this on a two-dimensional level. I'm looking at this shit on a two-dimensional level. What if I'm looking at it wrong? Now I came up with this. This was last year. You see what I'm saying? This was October, September, October of last year. And my homegirl, she sent me some shit on TikTok showing all these swirlings. Like, I guess since I put my last video out, a lot of people been showing me a lot of shit about these swirlings. So now it's coming into the conscious awareness now more than ever. But it popped off. Now, like I said, I have never heard of this book. I've heard of the author, Listen to Bobby, subconsciously, not on my conscious mind. But once I start tapping in with Trav this year, he dropped a video dealing with the three levels of the soul. He brought up Top with Shooty, Yoga's up Patanjali, probably some Kriya Darshan, the Runner Darshan. He also brought up the Golden Dawn, the Golden Dawn. He brought up a lot of shit, and he's got talking about the soul. These three. So I'm gonna get into this. It's all making sense. Stick with me. This notation of three. We'll get into the three. Building up your library of correspondences, you get to know shit. Or get to making sense of shit. So in this book, so as I started listening to him more, he ended up coming in and started talking about book reads. So I guess he been doing, I ain't no guess, he been doing book reads on YouTube for a while. And he brought up, he was about to get into the cosmic doctrine. I'm like, damn, that shit sound dope. Okay, I get it. Fuck it. Went on and ordered it. This I had already received, that I was supposed to be tapping into this book when I received this. God damn it. Subconsciously. I'll break down what the symbol actually means. What I do with it, none of your business. But I can break down what it means in simple terms. So in this book, she gets to talking about tangential lines and angles and movements of atoms and divine sparks that some people call they soul, which is connected directly to what she calls the great entity or God or the unmanifest, the Ein so far, the limitless light, negative limitless light, and then or Kether. You see what I'm saying? When we dealing with the logos, or technically that it can be tippereth of the sun, but let's just say Kether, right? She broke it down. She broke it down. She said, "You perceive that you have studied three types of movement. You now perceive that you okay within the segments are set up movements which are known as tangential. The nearest analogy to these is the Browning movement of atoms. So go look that up. Brownin movement of atoms. Yes, niggas, I'm giving you homework. Go look that up. The intersecting of the rings and rays giving rise to angles in the sharp tangential movement, thus occasion introduces a new factor into the cosmos. And she says, look at figure 7. Figure 7. Okay, check this out. It could be superficial or it could be superstitious, but I say no. Okay, I'm born 7/17. Put it like this: 7/17, right? So 17 is an 8, and 7 is a fucking 7. And she said, "Look at figure 7. Ooh, superstition, nigga." No, I'm just fucking with you. But check this out. You see, you got the swirlings and you got the angles coming in, the tangential angles coming in. Can you niggas see? I've showed this so many times. This is fucking profound to me. I've never read this book until this year. Until Travis Major pulled it up, I would have never heard of this. Well, can't say never, but I fucking put it like this. I wouldn't have been able to understand this shit to the level I understood it without Travis Major. So shout out to that nigga there. I've been able to understand a lot of shit, but a lot of shit I wouldn't have not been able to understand. So this is how this whole universe comes into being. This is how this whole universe comes into being. Or cosmos. Shit, fuck the universe. Let me tell you why I say fuck the universe. Not literally, but what I just showed you, a universe. This is the universe. This is your universe inside of there, buddy. That's your universe. That's your universe inside of there. This whole thing out here is the cosmos. You see what I'm saying? But also, nigga, do you see the swirlings, nigga? How it moves through one angle, nigga. It's 12 other ones, like the zodiac. It's all connected. It's 12 other ones. Check it out. Now, the same angles coming in. Obviously, it's a little different, right? Obviously, it's a little different. Let's see if you see it like this. Would you niggas understand it? The swirling and the angles coming in. Is that far? Am I reaching? You niggas tell me. Am I reaching? I know I'm not. I know I'm not. No, I ain't, buddy. And you also see, I don't know why it came to me, but the positive and then the negative. The pushing, the force, and the forming. Positive is the form, is the force. Negative is the form. It takes in and expands. It takes in, cuts shit off that needs to be cut off, and expands on it. Bina, Saturn. Shout out to SZA for making that Saturn song. I peeped some shit in that motherfucker. Right? Cycles. Life works in cycles. The cosmos is built on cycles. The universe is built on cycles. The planets are built on cycles. You go through cycles. Life path 8. Cycles. Year of the dragon. Cycles. Can't make this shit up. Now, what I've noticed, what a nigga has noticed, is every 8 between, and I'm nigga gonna not stretch it, but nigga gonna put this out here in this range, right? Because you look like Bobby Hemmings said, if you look for the day, if you looking forward to the day for something to pop off, you're gonna always fail. It's seasons. It's shit working seasons. You're gonna look for you. He said he found that shit out of the Y2K. He like thought all this shit was going down here. Yeah, destroy the earth and all this shit in 2000. And in the year 2000, the whole Y2K ain't shit happened. So he caught on to it. It's seasons. It ain't got nothing to do. It's these cycles that come around. And you look back at my first video, I talk about the percussion equinox. How when we come in, we go through epochs, or what the Hindus call yugas, nigga, cycles, nigga. And that's what she's broke down with the ring and inside the Cosmic Doctrine book about the ring cosmos and the ring chaos, and also the ring past night. Threes, nigga. What's up with these threes, y'all? We gonna get into it today. Shout out to Trav, man. Shout out to Trav, bro. Shout out to Trav, bro. Hold up. Think it's better if I make this motherfucker bigger. So shout out to Trav for that one. Cause I gotta understand none of these numbers of threes. Hold up. Come on, bro. Alright. So I did some self-analysis. Some self-analysis. I taught my tongue, so fuck y'all gonna make fun of a nigga. I did some self-analysis and I found out every 8 or 9 year pattern that I went through, I went through some shit on a subconscious mind, conscious mind, and a spiritual level every 8, 9 years. So I'm talking about from 1998 it started to 2024 to 2024. From 1998 to 2024, I had a sequence of events. It happened every 8 to 9 years, a sequence of events that led me right here to 2024 on this cycle, in this path of occult, esoteric, mystic information. What's my fucking duty here? What's your purpose? A lot of people get their purpose mixed up with their job, their bills, they kids. Obviously, you're an adult, so you have to take care of your kids. That's your responsibility. But you still have a path. Just like when they grow older, they're gonna have a path to choose. Every kid's not gonna want to grow up to be a business owner. Every kid's not gonna want to grow up to be a doctor, a lawyer, a butcher, a baker, a candlestick maker. They have their own path, and sometimes they get pushed away from that shit. And obviously they had to come back in another lifetime to actually to do it, to finish that process. You see what I'm saying? To resolve that karma, that cause and effect. You got to dissolve certain levels of karma till you got to get to a point. You got to have a lot of fucking lifetimes. And then here you got to go through a lot of lifetimes to even understand this shit. So how many lifetimes have I been through? Right? So, and this is the 3, nigga. 1998. I hear shit in my head and I was scared to tell somebody this is when my grandfather died. I heard a voice in your head. I didn't told this on the other video, but it's gonna make context with this. You are chosen. You are chosen one. You won't die like them. You won't live like the rest of them. Them the voices I heard in my head. Scared as fuck. Scared, don't want to tell my mom in the next room, don't want to tell nobody. I'm like, this shit's fucking terrifying. I'm not telling nobody this shit. It was fucking terrifying. Right? But at the same time, the voice was like, evil, you're the chosen one. No evil sound. It was very calm, very balanced. So you can tell when the voice came to my head, it wasn't supposed to be startling. But it was for this point right here for me to be able to understand and shit. You get what I'm saying? I have since I've been conscious, I've told people this story, but it's coming into fruition of understanding. And I'm gonna get to that in this video. It is. Let me take a sip of my water, bitch. Cause sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. Certified boogeyman. I'm the one that up the show with them. So another one. When I caught my case 2013, I was in a trap reading. My homie, I don't want to say his name for the simple fact that he's not in the same type shit I'm into. So he came back to the trap and he telling us, bro, y'all need to read Rich Dad Poor Dad. We read that and goddamn it applied that shit to the trap. Like niggas coming through here buying this and this and that. We might as well have this, and that. They can buy all of the shit here. They ain't gotta go nowhere else. Bad. We applied it. We didn't have information analysis. I mean, paralysis or action paralysis. We moved on the information that we got, and then I end up running into a book. Let me hit this: how it works, man. You got to pay attention to the cycles. This is how it works. If I had never went, oh, damn, I hurt. If I had never went to jail, if I would have never caught that case, at a point in my life where I thought, oh my God, this shit is fucking over with. What the fuck? I got on my knees. Obviously, I'm Christian at this time. God, please, if you get me out this, I ain't gonna never again. Show me what am I supposed to be doing with my life. Help me, Jesus. Help me. Everybody that went through that shit, right? But it's different from some. It's different for some, right? And you can a lot of people can go through the same experience and get different effects from it. You see what I'm saying? My close friend, he went looking this 617, this and that. The nigga I'm talking about, birthday is 617. But and that's crazy. He's 617. He a Gemini, then I'm 717. Can't That's crazy. But anyway, so and we went through the same type of experiences, and he went a total different way than me. But nonetheless, it's all spiritual anyway, right? So we get to this point, and he ended up bringing that book home. We used it, and then I ended up saying, okay, I want to go further. That's the type of nigga I am. I want to go further, nigga. Fuck stopping there, and I pick up a book called Think and Grow Rich. And like I told in my other video, Think and Grow Rich is a very occult book. How do you know it's an occult book? Because it taps into the subconscious mind. All this shit, all this shit is about the subconscious, unconscious mind. Subconscious, unconscious mind. Subconscious, unconscious mind. Subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind. That's what all this shit is about. It's not It's made to look spooky, to look cool, and keep people away from it. Because a lot of people are not ready for this shit. And I'm not saying that in like, yeah, nigga, you ain't ready for this shit. You ain't one of us, nigga. You not like us. Not that type shit. That type shit, but at the same time, not because this is psychological shit. And like I said, the deep you get into spirituality or consciousness, you're supposed to be shedding your ego. And a lot of people keep trying to come through with this motherfucker, and there are certain veils that are set up on this tree that you can't get through. You can't get to certain parts without going through that veil, without shaving some of your ego, without a certain ego death. You can't kill the ego. It's still needed, obviously, in the human being's body, right? But you have to. It's a lot of that shit that needs to be shaved the fuck off, and a lot of people not willing to do that. That's why a lot of people get stuck. And we kings, we queens, we gods, we goddesses, or you know what I'm saying. Whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying. And I like to shout out to my nigga Panic Pimpin' on the Wheel. He brought, hey, we Titans. Well, Bobby first, but we Titans. We came before the gods, and we did. And it's even exhibited here. They brought it up. You found it in the Greek mythology. Oh, that's white folk shit. Nigga, that Greek shit is nigga shit and it always has been. But at the same time, it's the whole story of the soul, the cosmos. So when we get to looking at black, white, and this and that, you niggas missing the point. You niggas missing the point. I gotta keep saying it. 'Cause a lot of niggas just want to read books by black people or just listen to black people. You doing yourself a disjustice, homie. And I ain't even got time to go into that. So she even speaks about how these divine sparks existed before the logos. They pre-exist the logos. The logos, nigga. The logos. The sun. The central point. Listen. The central point. I even got the central point in that motherfucker. The central point of our cosmos or our universe. It pre-existed. It comes, these divine sparks or our souls come straight out of the great entity, straight out of the unmanifest. The great entity has a fucking dream. It looks and see, man, hey, it looks, sees itself, it becomes aware of itself, then they look back and forth, boom, 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 create an image of itself or what it thinks it looks like, boom, 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 creates more. Obviously, that comes down into because they call Kether like one of the books called Kether. What? I'm like, damn, why am I not showing people? Let's show you a better version of this. Tree of life. All right. Up here is the is what a great entity exists. The ain't so far. The unmanifest. It doesn't exist in the terms of existence of a human mind can even fathom what existence is. That's all you really need to know about it. You can't even fathom what the fuck non-existent existence is, nigga. All right. It dreams of itself or thinks of itself and it wants to create something it sees, it pops its first eye out and looking around, and then next thing you know, it creates an image of what it thinks it looks like, and what it thinks it looks like is looking back and forth at it, and they looking back and forth at each other. So now it's gathering up all this data and it shoots this data over here. Hold up, I'm doing it the other way. Yeah, this way. See, it's reverse. I ain't looking at it. Talking about choke one. You know what I'm saying? Which is divine masculine principle. Then it shoots out positive, right? Positive. The masculine energy shoots out semen, sperm into the womb. The womb of who? The great mother, the divine feminine. The divine feminine, which they call the black goddess. Saturn, Bina. And what does she do? She formulates, she synthesizes through all the data and extracts what doesn't need to be needed no more and formulate something that needs to be needed. Nigga, boom, boom. And what don't need to be needed get left behind. What don't need to be used get left behind up in here and dock. That's a whole nother story. I am not the master on this shit. Like I'm not the master on this shit. I'm a student of this shit. Go follow Travis Majors on YouTube and watch his videos. He does a superb job of this shit. And I respect him even more because he said he didn't read the Kabbalah, the mystical Kabbalah about like 4 or 5 goddamn times. And I think he gonna read it again this year. I'm already in it. And fucking and I'll still go back. We gonna get into it today. You know what I'm saying? So boom boom. What the fuck am I even talking about this to y'all? Fuck am I even bringing it up? It's a reason I was bringing it up. But these divine sparks exist before the whole creation. So that's when panic, you know what I'm saying? We actually titans, what we call titans. You know what I'm saying? Because we come from the unmanifest directly. You know what I'm saying? We are even older than the God. So, like I said, this whole path of spiritualism is supposed to be um um refining your ego. toning that motherfucker down. You less braggadocious about dark side, light side, love, light, evil, evil, this and that. You obviously there's people supposed to be there, right? Because we live in polarity. So you're gonna have people who on that other end of the spectrum. That's how it's supposed to be. But I come into understanding this middle path or walking down the middle where you can use both from either side actually works more profoundly. It's actually more balanced. And that's what we're talking about here, balance, right? So and then we go so the second part of that the third part cycle happens. Um so and this one's a more lengthier cycle. Because that started in 2013. I read the book, The Think and Grow Rich. He started talking about the subconscious mind. I've heard about the subconscious mind, never understood what it was. I ended up going in there. At this time, obviously, I'm a Christian, so he's talking about, hey, what you need to do is put take out whatever you have, basically, and I'm paraphrasing. You need to take out whatever you have in your subconscious mind and put the intent to get money in it. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck? What's the most important thing to me? Obviously, traditionally, culturally, um, and traditionally in the way I was raised, it's Jesus, right? It's God at this point. So I'm like, oh shit, this nigga want me to take out and put God and Jesus to the side and put money there. I'm like, hold up. And obviously we quote it wrong. We like root money is the root of all evil. So I'm like, hell no, this shit evil, which is like actually the love of money is, but and that's just that's another story. So I end up going back into the Bible. So I'm in a trap, catching my plays, my jugs, that foul me in everything. You did what I'm saying? And catching my plays, going back to the room, shutting the door, reading about, trying to get understanding on this shit. And me, even though a street nigga at the same time, I was always an intellectual. So if I don't get this shit, I'm trying to figure this shit out. If I care about it. English didn't care about. Algebra didn't care about. You know what I'm saying? That's why I excelled in the sciences and the arts. And I went to a school called Arts and Sciences. See, this shit is all cyclical because we're going to get to this life path number 8. If you know, you already know. And the 8th Sephra on the tree. And this 8th Sephra on this tree is going to bring it back to Mercury, intelligence, sciences. Man, we're going to get to it. So then I go to this next one. And yeah, okay, so I go through all that, go to jail, get out. Y'all on my knees, God, please help me with this and this and that. Me and my friend, my best friend, fall out at that time, and I'm going through this cycle. Where now I'm forced to be alone, forced to be with my thoughts, and trying to figure out like what the fuck is this life thing about? I've been lied to. Have I been lied to about the Jesus thing? Boom, run into Dr. John Henry Clark, running to the Hebrew Israelite shit first, and then running to Sarah Suit and City. These niggas just argue all day and shit on what's the name show in Harlem, getting all the knowledge from these niggas, doing my own little research. Then had too many books at that time. And I'm gonna get into this book shit because I haven't always been a book reader. So when you see me talking about books this and books that, and I also understand everybody is not gonna be on that path. You know what I'm saying? But when we talking about esoteric or cult motherfuckers who do magic with a logical and an abstract understanding of what they're doing when they're tapping into a spiritual um modes of consciousness or awarenesses awareness. We choose this path. We choose this path, and when we choose this path, we're gonna have to make sense to the logical mind. You know what I'm saying? So reading books and all that shit comes as a part of it, and some people run from it. For a long time, I ran from it. I didn't want to do that. Nigga, I'm God, nigga. It's all in me, nigga. Divine wisdom and knowledge and understanding, nigga. And I ran from it. So at this point, um, long story short, I'm gonna try to cut it as short as I can. End up moving back home because I was staying out of town at this time. I was staying in Nashville, Tennessee. Because we did the whole. I never graduated high school, but I made it. to a point to where I was able to finesse to be able to go to Tennessee State University, HBCU in Nashville, by way of my nigga. Shout out to Lil B and they not into this shit, so I don't want to get a name. So my bad, bruh. Um, so and by way of my close friends. You know what I'm saying? So I can write a whole chapter in a book about that life. I would never regret that shit, bro. At some point, I did feel like I wasted my life, but now I look at life like no obstacle will apprehend you. Everything works in my favor. So, in that lifetime, that story definitely did. Now I'm going back and forth to court and all this shit and that. And once the case finally over and I get what I get, I move back to chat. So I moved back to chat, right? So, um, my homie from the hood, he put me onto a good job, and they got paid every week. Stayed with moms. Me and my brother said, let's get an apartment together. We did. Boom. Unfortunately, he had lost his father right before we moved in, like a week or two before. Um, so we get the crib, and at this point, I'm at this point. So, and this sparked something because I go back and I was like 2014, 2015. Now I'm giving y'all an 8, 9 year span. I talk from 1998, 2014, 2015. You do the math. Um, I'm at this real secluded hermit type mode, right? I'm heavy on Bobby. Like I'm heavy. I go to work. Got a car, go to work, come home. Fuck with that. Got a car, duh. All right. I go to work, come home, smoke, watch Bobby Hemming. Got to the point, my cousin ended up coming to stay with us, and they like, bro, what the fuck, bro? You tripping, bro? You something else, bro? Like, you need to go back to being the old little Joe, bro. Like, you ain't doing music no more, bro. You don't go to the club with us no more, bro. You ain't. All you do is sit here and watch this shit, bro. Like they wasn't trying to down it because they knew I was serious about it, right? So they respected it, but they wanted me. They seen the aspect of me change. Bro, I lost so much weight. I was skinny as fuck, skinnier than I've ever been. And I posted those pictures before I was going through that, and I put it in a song. And it was like when I was going through something. When I lost weight and lost a couple of locks, these little hoes wouldn't share no puss with me. Like these bitches weren't trying to fuck. It really wasn't even them. Now that I think about it, because like that year though, I cared less about fucking. I cared less about buying clothes and keeping maintenance up. I was just stuck in this information. Like, God damn, Bobby Hemmett, this nigga here. I haven't even ran into Panic yet. I was just heavy on Bobby, and at this point, I had a couple books. Um, didn't read them. Didn't read them. Didn't read them. Scanned through them. Probably grabbed some little bit of shit up out that motherfucker, and it was a wrap on that. Listening to Bobby, and didn't care about pussy. I did, but hell, Pornhub. I'd rather instead of dealing with a bitch and having to go through what I had to go through at that time. Fuck that. So it was about like 2, 3 girls that I was just on a. Some people can say, nigga, that's still a lot. It's actually not. The rate of where a nigga was at getting that shit, just 2 or 3 throughout the whole year. Like I only hit like 2 or 3 girls out that whole spectrum. And I was kind of cold hearted and shunned towards them now that I look back towards it. Because I actually did fuck with them, but like this information and knowledge was more important. You see what I'm saying? It was way more important. And my cousin, they wanted to go to the club and do all this and this and that. So I ended up seeing like Facebook memories. You know what I'm saying? Moms had took a picture with me, my cousin, my brother, and all of us at the crib. And I'm looking back, I'm like, hold up, go back. Now I'm looking at it this year. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. It was 15. It was May of 2015, which would be a 9 year cycle from then to here to 2024, May of 2024. Obviously, it's July 16, 2024 now, but that's when I looked at the picture and I caught on to it, and it caught me and had me in the friends, and I stopped. I'm like, what the fuck? Obviously, a lot of people tell you the number 9 means completion, but you know what? It also relates to your side, the moon, storehouses of images, the etheric body, where your whole body is built. The image of your body is built, and everything that goes into it and with it is built in this plane. You should know where I'm going with this. And I'm just now correlating the number 9 with your side. Which I had to do some more looking into that. Fuck it, I can show you though. That's number 9. Your side down here at the moon. Right? Foundation. Represents foundation. See? Now, I gotta fucking turn my phone off. Quit looking at that shit. Now, 2024. No, so yeah, 2015, that's what I was going through, right? It was very hard. It was very hard. I ended up finding 2015, ended up finding coming out with some music. If you have heard any of my music, if you have not, check me out on YouTube, No Way Pop, just like it is down here. I got an album called 13, you know. So obviously a nigga was aware, obviously, when I came out with this album, it was actually built up giving you a story. It gives you a story of a street nigga coming into consciousness and awareness. This type of information. You see what I'm saying? This type of information. The number 13. Obviously, 13 correlates with Christ consciousness. That center point that Jesus Christ represented when he sits in between all 12 of his apostles or his disciples or his disciplines or the 12 zodiacs. He sits in the middle point and he becomes the discipline of all the 12 attributes of the zodiac sign, nigga. 13, coming into Christ consciousness. God damn. Then I dropped that. I think I dropped that. So go look that up. It's on Apple Music. You'll see me, my face, and half of it. The rest of it got the number 13 on it. The bearded man with the half face facing the manifest reality and the other facing the unmanifest. That correlates with Kether for those who understand the Kabbalah. Damn. Yo. Yeah. See, it all comes out, man. It all comes out. And you make your correspondences with it. All right. So at that point, then here we go. A nigga fuck around and go through that. And then 2024, here we go. Now I move to Dallas. Now I'm in Dallas, Texas. Goddamn, and I'm thinking like, oh yeah, I'm finna come down here, link up, found fresh out of relationship, a traumatizing relationship, but at the same time a beautiful relationship, a life lesson, spiritual lesson, all that type of relationship. You see what I'm saying? Oh yeah, I'm finna get down here and I'm finna link with the whole family bitches. You know what I'm saying? Find that one down here that's for me. Not saying none of that is not the case and none of that's not happening, but not the point of being here. End up having an experience. And here we go to these three. End up having this experience. Now, also, we go 1998, 2014, 15 to 2024. 8, 8, 9, 8, 9, whatever. 3, right? But 8 and 9 year spans of these cycles. Life is not working straight forward. It's working cyclical. That's why I said when I came up with this, maybe I'm looking at it wrong. If I look at this shit 2 dimensional, what if I pull it out and do it 3 dimensional? Matter of fact, now Travis got us reading this book, Stalking the Wild Pendulum. We ain't even got to the juicy parts of this shit yet. So now I said, hey, what if I'm looking at it wrong? I thought that a couple months ago. He brings up this book, right? Maybe I'm trying to give it to where you can actually see exactly what I'm getting at here. What if I'm looking at it wrong? What if it actually needs to be looked at in a 3D sense? Can it focus? What if that little ray that I got going straight across in it? What if? You see what I'm saying? And the swirling is happening around it. That that ray that's going straight across. What if? You see? What if I have been looking at it wrong? What if I look at this from another standpoint, right? If it's swirlings, if you look at it from the top down, and then he gets into that in this book. If you're looking at it from this way, or you're looking at it from this way, if you're looking at it from this way, you're gonna have a different experience depending on which way depending on the observer. Depending on the observer. Because it can also be looked at like this. What does that remind you of? What does that look like? Don't that look like some DNA, brother? Huh? Don't that look like some DNA? Let's see another here. Because don't that look like something there? Still cyclical. Depends on the observer. If you can see, let those with eyes see. Let's see here. You know, look at that. Look at that swirling. It's going up. But if you write it like this, you may be looking at it from a different standpoint, right? Maybe looking at it from a different standpoint, brother. You may be missing it. Huh? All right. That's what we're going to get into here. So, see if it has anything like that. Anything else like that going on up in here. Still the swirlings, brother. See? This how he breaks it down. This person looking at it from that point, and this person looking at it from that standpoint. Boom. Brings me to my point. Now, I know it's the wintertime sometimes around here. I'm going to try to run this real fast because I ain't even gotten to what the fuck I'm finna really talk about today. I mean, I am bringing it all together and dealing with the life path 8, right? Dealing with hold, right? A hard or Mercury or Tahuti type energy, intelligence type energy. Um, and it also brings me to the point like, okay, so I had this experience. I was watching a TV show and I ended up having like a psychic experience. When I say psychic, that means becoming aware of the subtle things, becoming aware of the subtle things. And I watched this show, and I'm going into like a walking, living type of astral projection or fucking meditative state, or what Dion Force call it, like a spirit projection. I don't fucking remember. And in my head, I'm seeing 3 versions of myself. I don't have a picture of that, but look at my face here. I'm seeing 2 versions of my head like this. I'm seeing one. I got a face on this side, a face on this side, face on this side. One of them is telling me you can't. I don't want to get into which side or which one, but one was telling me. Now we're gonna get into these threes. One was so as I'm hearing this, at this point, I'm hearing this in my head. One side is telling me, bro, pick the Glock up and just kill yourself, bro. You figured this shit out, bro. Kill yourself. Just go on and do yourself in, bro. You figured this out. The other side is like, bro, shut the fuck up. You know goddamn well I'm not gonna do no shit like this. Is a conversation going on inside of my consciousness. I'm not scared to broadcast it because, nigga, boy. Anyway, so well, you know I'm not finna do that. I'm not finna do this shit, bro. Do it, bro. You done figured it out, bro. Ain't no point in living no more. You done already figured this shit out. You got what most people ain't even gonna get. Because I came to certain information, right? You ain't gonna get it, bro. Ain't nobody else gonna get it. Just go on it. You figured it out, bro. You ain't gotta live no more. It's over with. And the other one is like both of y'all just shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. But at the same time, while these three are talking, right? And the one in the middle trying to be the mediator, right? The one in the middle trying to be the mediator. But think about it. While those three what's the names are talking, I'm observing it. I'm observing this conversation that's being held with the three parts of my consciousness. I'm not interacting with it. I'm simply observing it. Now, if you have been paying attention to any of my other videos, I have been bringing up Purusha and Prakriti. Now, if we go into this is where we get into these threes. These threes, if you looked at that book I just showed you, talk about the three gunas. What's the three gunas? Rajas, which is action, movement. I'm gonna give it the most simple terms. Now, this is in the Vedic terminology, or the Sanskrit terminology, or the yogic or the tantric terminology. You can get. You actually want to have this book. You actually want to have Talk with Shooty. You actually want to have Samkhya Darshan, which breaks down what I'm about to talk about. Here, buddy. You got Rajas, activity, movement. Then you got Thomas, inertia, ignorance, laziness. And then you have Sattva, blissfulness, the balance point of all of this shit. That's what we all trying to get to, this sattvic nature. Now, with these three gunas, everything that exists consists of these three gunas in different degrees. One is always one that's more predominant. So you can be in a sattvic, rajas, tamasic nature, but one has to be at the top. So it can be top, it can be sattvic. But check this out. Or it can be rajas. You can be super lazy in no activity being done, which is rajas. You know what I'm saying? Also, at the same time, you can have some blissfulness while you're going through that meditation, maybe, or a certain level of meditation, maybe. So you can exist in these three, coexist. I mean, not coexist. Simultaneously exist within these three attributes called Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. So when I had that experience, but check this out, all of that exists inside the manifest reality. Everything in the manifest reality exists of these three. Of these three, everything has a sattvic, rajas, rajasic, or tamasic nature. Can't get away from it. It's part of this reality. You can't get away from it. Shout out to Trav. You can't get away from none of this shit. Right? So that's in the manifest reality. Outside of the manifest reality, Purusha, the individual soul, he is he is gunaless. The soul is gunaless. What is the soul? What is Purusha? You really want to know what the soul is? You need to get Samkhya Darshan. If you want to believe it, don't want to believe, don't make me no fucking difference. But I tell you one thing right here. This will change your understanding. Will level up your understanding. If you're not so much in your ego and just throwing shit out that don't, oh, it ain't got nothing to do with Isis or Osiris or Aset. It ain't got nothing to do with Oshun or Goon. Actually, it does. But that's dependent upon your level of awareness. How much information do you have the capacity to understand this type of shit and be able to put it in different sections of sectors? Like, oh shit, that's this. Oh shit, that because that's what I'm doing here. And when I'm breaking down these three gunas, now when I had this experience of kill yourself, I'm not doing it. Both of y'all and one in the middle, both of y'all shut the fuck up. This and that, trying to bring peace and balance to the whole shit and blissfulness to the whole shit. That middle point, sattva, rajas, No, 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 no. Thomas. Just end this shit, bro. Ain't no point. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no point of doing no more of this shit. So all three of those aspects, but at the same time, a part of me was observing. What did I just say is the observer? Purusha is the observer. It observes all of these three aspects going on. I hit a point where I was able to observe all three of these things, and that shit was fucking terrifying. Oh, I'm not here to tell you that shit was cute, and I walked out that motherfucking feeling like, hell yeah, nigga, I'm God, y'all nigga. Hell no, that shit was fucking terrifying. I'm shaking like this, nigga. I had to walk outside in my drawers, nigga. I'm Boy, my heart beating so goddamn fast. I'm paranoid. I'm scared. Don't want to tell nobody because motherfucker, obviously, motherfucker gonna think, especially at that point, motherfucker gonna think this nigga crazy and all that shit. And he going through this, bro. Let's get him to the hospital and fuck around and get admitted. Nigga, fuck around and get admitted. So I that's why I connect with people who be going through this and they scared to tell people because they people around them don't understand. So I have that experience. Now here's the three: 1998, 24, 15, 2014, 15, 2024, 3. Another 3. I went through that stage. Now I come to understanding what the fuck path I'm supposed to be on. Cause my whole life I ran from it. But my whole life, bits and pieces was about it. My whole life I've been a rapper. If you know me from my city, Chattanooga, Tennessee, you knew me from Lil Joe from 3-4 to No Way Jose to No Way Pop. Damn, there go 3 again. Here go these 3 Gunners. Damn, Lil Joe from 3-4. Damn. When I was Lil Joe from 3-4, very rajasic, action, shooting, gang banging, fucking bitches, get money, trapping. No Way Jose. No Way Jose. Uh, I guess you can say it was Tomasic, laziness, a little ignorance, no growth, kind of still, kind of flatline with that shit. But I came with a little song called "Little Dirty Bitch." If you're from my city, you know that song, and you know what I'm saying. Destructive, because it can represent like destructive too, or breaking down, right? Breaking down. I was still active in the streets too. So okay, but I'm talking about as far as music wise. Then I hit No Way Pop, a higher level of especially understanding, getting closer to my higher self at this point, getting closer to blissfulness at this point. No obstacles will apprehend you. Prosperity over pain. Nigga, when I came up with No Way, first of all, I was in the street, so nigga, I didn't even come up with the acronym then. Back then I didn't have it. It was just a cool name like No Way Jose because my name in Spanish is Jose, and No Way was like no a cool saying to say. Nigga, I didn't understand it then, but it's coming around for in cycles, nigga. And this shit is about cycles. I'm giving you cycles, giving you fucking cycles to you. Understand? You can be able to run through your life and connect all the divine shit that has been happening the whole fucking time. Being able to happen the whole fucking time you not even knowing. Later on, I came up with the No Way Pop. You see what I'm saying? I was already conscious once I then POP came like 2018. Prosperity over pain. I'm like, oh, I'm finna start my own label and all this shit. I got my own clothes and all that shit still. But it's a state of awareness. And because I'm already conscious the time by the time I come up with the POP. You see what I'm saying? So now it all comes full circle. No obstacles will apprehend you. Prosperity over pain. I had already been fucking with Ganesh. And I'm talking about later years when I'm speaking in the context of fucking with Ganesh. The removal of obstacles. Intelligence. I was reading a story in the and a Shiva Mahapara. I may be saying it wrong, so don't crucify me. But it talked about how this cosmic egg was gifted to Shiva and Shakti, and they were giving it to the kids, or they was gifting it to the kids. And him and his brother, the parents told him, all right, the first one who can travel around the universe. Check this out, intelligence, right? Wittiness. The first one who can travel around the universe and back, and who makes it back first wins the egg. His brother automatically took off. Hell yeah, I'm out. I'm gone. This nigga actually traveling the universe, but Ganesh, being intelligent as he is, he understands this. His mother and father, pure consciousness and pure energy. Pure consciousness is Shiva. Pure energy is Shakti. He understands that they are the universe. So he just walks around them. Give me my egg. Like, what? No, you didn't even leave. You didn't. But mama, daddy, y'all are the universe. And I'm like, damn. Outsmarted his, not even outsmarted his parents, but thought past a level of intellect and abstract thought outside of his parents. They didn't even think of that shit. They had to give him the egg. You see what I'm saying? So I've already been connected with this type of energy. If I always move like that, it's always been my energy. It's nothing that I had to make up a part of my reality or a part of my, I would say personality, yeah, that too, but a part of my archetype. I've always been this nigga. I've always been this nigga. That's why I need to do that breakdown Trav got of like all the levels that we identify on. One thing that can't be changed is that archetype person that you are. Your personality, yeah. You know what I'm saying? You switch up your clothes, switch up the swag, use different words, yeah. Start fucking with different type of bitches, start wearing different type of clothes, drive different type of cars, you get a little money, you do personality, but your archetype, none changing. And I've come into awareness of what the fuck that is. I've always knew it, but I've always ran from the shit. I've always been a student. I can't change it. Can't change it. When I was a kid, you can ask my mama. I used to have a bin full of electronic shit, and I used to take phones and computers and speakers and radios apart and try to put shit together. I used to break shit down and try to put shit together. I've always done that shit. Like, I don't know the fuck why. You see what I'm saying? I've always done that type shit. And I never knew the fuck why. But now I'm at this point in 2024 where I'm going over these cycles. Life works in cycles. Each level from 1998 to 2014 to 2024, you can call it a straight line if you're looking at it like that. But if you're looking at it from another level, it's a spiral, right? Well, it's a spiral. And every time I reach a certain point on that spiral, that that side of that spiral, that point, oh, fuck, man. I wish I had something I could show y'all with, like a spring or something, bro. Huh? Let's try this. A little something I have for Santisa Santa Mamonte. So let's consider this a spiral, right? You see, it's levels to this spiral, right? 3 levels to it. Let's just say it's 3. Now we're looking at a spiral. So this is life. You're going. Life is like this. If we looking at it at a spiral point, I mean, it's stop. This is what life is like, a spiral. If you look at it in a cyclical spiral way, in this one right here, you're going around. Okay, here you go. This is even better. You're going around. Every time you reach this point, you go through something. Boom. Okay, you pass, fail, whatever. Then you hit the second one here. You come back around that spiral. Boom. You go through something. Second point. Then you hit this spiral again. You come back around. Boom. You go through something. Life works in cycles. It's different degrees because you're not at this first level no more. You're at this third level. Different degrees of the same shit. And I just broke it down from 1998, 2014, 15 to 2024. Same shit, different degree. At some point, you gotta wake up and figure out what the fuck that cycle is and what the fuck it means to you. What the fuck does it mean to me? Let's get to it. What the fuck does it mean to you? So, as I'm reading, I'm heavy in the Kabbalah now. The Kabbalistic, the Kabbalistic Tarot, a textbook of mystical philosophy by Robert Wayne. All right. So, if we just want to go off the numbers, what's the number 8? If we dealing with the tree of life, huh? The number 8 is hard. Glory, glory, right? What does that mean, though, Joe? Fuck it. We can break it down on a simple level. I mean, we can break it down with the words of, oh, I also got this book. So I'm sending it so you niggas can get it. A Practical Guide to Kabbalistic Symbolism, Gareth Knight. I thought I ordered version 2, which deals with the paths, and then getting version 1, which means I'm gonna have to go get the second value too, also as well. So we dealing with, if we dealing with, I got many aspects I can be reading this shit from. I got too many actually. God damn. As a matter of fact, let's start off with Gareth, with William G. Gray, Ladder of Lights. Let's see what he says about 8, about the 8th sphere. Mm-hmm. Oh no, this is where he gets into the he actually gets into the worlds. Okay. He speaks Sephra Hold, the Asaya world of expression. And the Asaya is the word of expression. And I'm gonna just tap into a little bit of that because you got 4 worlds when you're dealing with these trees exist in 4 worlds. Hey, why not? This is YouTube. Why not show people, Joe? No way. Give you niggas my real name. Why not show people? Why not show these niggas? Hold up, I need to bookmark the shit going on too. See, this tree is broken down into 4 different worlds. 4 different worlds. Same tree, 4 different worlds. So in these 4 different worlds, it switches up and it changes on what energy can be dispersed or recognized or made aware of when you're dealing with these 4 different worlds. But let's just stick. I'm gonna stick to the word that I have highlighted, which would be the Briatic, because that deals with, oh, why? Because I did going through this book, it breaks down the tarot with the it gives you how to read it, how to read the tarot cards. That's why I'm like, bro, a lot of people do tarot cards and astrology readings, but I think it shows reading this book, like, bro, a lot of people in mystical biology, unfortunately, said too, like a lot of people have not intentionally, but half-ass understand astrology and tarot reading if they not understanding the tree of life. And now this is not to say like, oh, the tree of life is superior to everything else. No, the tree of life existed in every spiritual system. You see what I'm saying? Maybe my time it got to the Christians, God said you can eat from the tree of life and not the tree of knowledge of good and evil. But bro, you can insect every matter of fact, this is how you're gonna be able to check these systems that you're dealing with if they stand on principle. This shit, like Trav said, and like this book said, bro, it's a map. It's a map of divine consciousness and awareness. This is a map. So you can be able to pinpoint and check where the fuck you are on the map. See what I'm saying? If you just drive and never been to a city, never been to a state, don't know where the fuck you at, how you gonna know where you at if ain't no signs around? If you ain't got your GPS to tell you you're here, how you gonna know you north, south, east, or west, or southwest, or northeast? This is a map. And you can be able to check all these systems. Of course, it comes from fucking Kemet for niggas who want to say that. Of course, it comes from Kemet. Of course, it comes from fucking East India too. Of course, it comes from the fucking the Asians too. You ain't gonna get away from it. Different, it's different ways that this shit has been shown though. You got to be aware of that type shit though. And I'm not gonna get all that shit to you. So I did a tarot card reading, and I'm not gonna give you the reading about what it said, but basically a part of it showed like, okay, here's the three that will um these three cards right here is what would be needed to know for you to go into the path for what you're trying to do. And it's a certain thing I'm trying to do because I'm bringing that up because like my nature wants to help motherfuckers. You see what I'm saying? Help myself first. Fuck that. Get an understanding of what my natural abilities are and what my natural archetype of energy is, and balance that shit out to be able to help other motherfuckers. I'm seeing a world full of hurt folks, bro. Everybody fucked up from tradition, from religion, from economics, from every fucking thing they receiving all these motherfuckers getting impressed on in their subconscious mind unknowingly. That's what's fucking folks up. That's the problem. You don't know. So since you not a guardian of your own mind, government say shit, why won't I? They ain't doing it. Why won't I? I'll govern their ass. And that's what's going on. So it's something that I want to do. I won't be so specific into it because it comes over time. I understand that life works in cycles. So, but I do know one thing: the information that I'm getting now and that I have gotten, I'm talking about from law to crypto to understanding how the financial system and banks works, to understanding how the streets works, to understanding how the pain niggas go through from shooting niggas, from niggas dying, being locked into a jail cell, being called the devil and evil, being a rapper, being a nigga who get hoes, being a nigga who be fly. You see what I'm saying? Being a nigga who's in this shell in a way, being a nigga who everybody knows in their hometown, to being in a city where no one knows you and you loving it. All these aspects and things that I've grasped for being in love, being heartbroken, all these aspects is gonna come full circle in a cycle. So I understand, and it's coming through. I just ran through how I broke. Took an hour and 20 minutes for me to break down how from 1998 to 2024, how all this shit lines up in a cycle, right? So when I pulled the cards, and one of the cards that popped out was the Hermit. Another card was completion, and another card was science. Have a minute, so I ain't gonna bring all that shit up because we can be here even longer. Let's see. So, so it gets into here the Briatic world. Why do I say the Briatic world? Because when that card came out, the Hermit came out. Once you read the tarot cards, the tarot, I fuck up. It breaks down. how these cars actually relate to certain worlds of of the sephra of the tree. And that card related to Bria. And what is Bria? Bria is the realm where archangels carry out the mandates of God and gives them expression. God damn. Now, if you a spiritual person, you hear me talking about, oh, he talking about angels, that's some Christian shit. Bro, that's the way that it has to be broken down. If you want to take it to another term, like what I'm learning about these angels, well, all this shit is a collection of fucking data, bro. There in this there when you say there, it still gives it like human understanding form, but that's the best way to do it. So this angelic force is a collection of specific data, a collection, a synthesized version and a refined version of collection of specific data. If I'm not mistaken, there are 10 archangels that exist on this tree because it's 10 Sephiros. And under them, they have their legions. 72 Goetia. That's the first thing that popped in my mind. Obviously, when I when I hear that, boom, I go see what Trav say. Same shit. Check your sources, check what you know, see what other people know, see if it lines up with yours. If they is line up with yours, okay, great. If it don't, okay, see where it doesn't line up. See if it's on your part or if it's on their part. You have to be able to be humiliated and say you don't know. Because there's a lot of shit about this tree that I don't know. So I read my Mr. Kabbalah, take my notes, and then I go watch Trav version on YouTube. I go tap into his YouTube and see if he picked up on some shit that I didn't know, that I didn't pick up or that I didn't see, because he has a way more in-depth understanding of this shit than I do. But it says Bria, the word of creation, the archangel, Raphael. Some systems place Michael here as a healing being. So it's all about healing. It's, okay, anyway. But this is erroneous since Michael is obviously a solar archangel and thus to be properly placed at Tippereth, which is where Christ sits, the sun, nigga. Raphael always been associated with healing. Raphael has always been associated with healing, teaching, and is the spiritual patron of travelers. I drove fucking trucks for 7 years. Fucking traveler. Being often depicted with a traveler's hat. A trucker hat. Fuck. A staff and a water guard. These symbols are Christianized virgins. These symbols are Christianized versions of the Hermetic caduceus. These symbols are the Petisus, Petersus, and the vial of healing ointment. Raphael was appointed specifically to heal the wounds of mankind. Not every kind of sickness. But check this out. And to present the prayers of the saints. He is set over the spirits of men. Raphael was also the angel associated with Tobias. His work his work as one of the great four was the overcoming of the wicked angel Azazel, who it may be remembered was an armament tycoon and an encourager of loose women. I like Azazel. Loose women, these hoes. Shit. Why you had to put him down, Raphael? He wasn't doing nothing but getting us some pussy. And he bound Azazel securely until mankind was stupid enough to release the prisoner and appoint him director of munitions. Munitions. Raphael means the healing of God, and war wounds come specifically into his province. Listen to my story and tell me what makes sense to you. My story about me. What makes sense, nigga? What have I said? What have I said I've been running from my whole life? What has been my reality my whole life? Unconsciously. Not me digitally trying to work to be, oh, I'm a healer, or oh, I'm a student, I study this, and then the occult, and then esoteric. So it's nothing that had to be forced with me. It's been my nature. Hell, even when I was a kid, my granny used to get mad at me because the only book of the Bible I ever liked to read was about the rapture. What's that shit called? Fuck, how the fuck did I forget that? The last book in the Bible, nigga, with a whole when the shit is over with. I was fascinated with this world and why. In the personification of Raphael, we can trace the beginnings of conscience in a humanity developing in an humanity developing a sense of right or wrong. We may call it common sense if we like. To heal hurts is a compensatory act. Compo- oh, compens- Y'all out there laughing at me? Fuck you. Compensatory act arising from a conviction that hurts should not have happened and ought to be both corrected and prevented. This applies on all levels. Check this out: physically, mentally, and spiritually. Healing. Raphael is a compositor. Hold up, hold up. That's how I know I fucked up. Compensatory. That's what it said at the beginning. I got it right. To heal hurts in a compensatory act arising from a conviction that hurt should not have happened and ought to be both corrected and prevented. This applies on all levels, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Raphael is I can't read because they got this fucking word half split like a typo. But anyway, he gives an inborn sense of knowing. He gives an inborn sense. Listen, he gives an inborn sense of knowing when things are going too far in any direction, so that they may be brought to balance again. If we carried away too much by the Beni Elohim, because that's the part of the Archangel Legion he's part of, is the Beni Elohim, we can always appeal to Raphael for help. And I'm only reading the parts that I highlighted, right? The sound, okay. If we hurt others or we hurt ourselves in mind or soul, Raphael's task is to ease the suffering by straightening matters out, applying whatever balm may be necessary to the wounded feelings. The sound mind and the sound body might as well be a Raphaelic motto, and all forms of mental healing will certainly come under his patronage. In cases of insanity and mental illness, Raphael is the archangel to invoke. Let them with ears hear and understand. All right, I can't make this shit up. The attribution of Raphael to eat the attributed the attribution of Raphael to the east with the sword and the element of air is simple to understand once we remember the sword was an arrow. In Hermetic, I'm skipping over a lot of shit, y'all, but I just want to get to the point. In Hermetic tradition, Raphael is also the patron of travelers along the inner way. I just broke down these cycles with that. All of it has something to do with inner. I was traveling in a cycle in the inner. We all do, right? Not just me, like, oh, you're me, I'm the only one. No, we all do, obviously, when you're coming into consciousness. But check this out. In in a guide of the dead as well. What does that remind you of? Anubis. The staff he bears is the middle pillar, the middle pillar, or the horizontal balance. What did I just say about dark side, light, love, and light? I'm choosing the middle pillar, depending which way it is presented. Its message is simply keep upright and stay level. Mental stability, in fact. His flask holds the waters of wisdom. In wit, which should prevent us getting too dry and dusty. Don't get dusty, bitch. Don't get parched. You bitches out there looking parched. Don't look parched. Bitch, get some water. Drinking from the waters of wisdom, nigga. We drinking from the waters of wisdom. What's up? We drinking from the wells of wisdom. We flowing from the survival scrolls, nigga. While his broad brimmed hat is meant as a shield against the sunstroke of bedevilment by more light than we can comfortably bear. A lot of niggas can't take this shit. A lot of niggas can't take this shit. So, with that being said, all this esoteric occult information, I have to get able to get to a point where I can break it down because everybody's not going to be able to receive that level of light. Because what's light? When we talk about becoming enlightened, light being in, right? Arising the light within, a lot of people can't take this shit on the level of, oh, but Franz, nigga, the one of the 72 Goetia, but Franz is this, and he did, and then Set this, and then Eva this, and then the Baphomet that, and then Satisa Sen. They not gonna be able to take a lot of this shit. Not because they just can't understand, because a lot of it goes into the subconscious and deals with psychological factors of a person. I can bear that. I take all that in. It's a sacrifice that a nigga makes. A good sacrifice, right? But nonetheless, a sacrifice. You gotta get called the devil by people. You gotta get called evil by people. You ain't gonna be able to hold conversations with everybody. You may not be able to talk to a lot of people. You see, you may be misunderstood. I bear all that so I can bring it to the normal average. All right. As a comfortably to bear. These are messages in all the symbols, and they should be carefully examined. These are messages in all the symbols when they personify Raphael as a man. It's not a man. We as human had to personify as that to get a grasp on the understanding of these. But this is what the occult is. We study the hidden inside the apparent. What's ever shown to you niggas, dead smack in your face, we supposed to be able to decipher the hidden meanings of it, right? They are the stimulant of our minds if we are willing to use them. They are to stimulate our minds if we are willing to use them. They pop on shit inside the subconscious and bring it to the conscious awareness so you can philosophize and make a logical interpretation of it. As an hermetic teacher, Raphael instructs us to how to make how to make use of our minds in service of our spirits. In the hard hermetic school, we find out the handle mind stuff. Huh. When you study Tower shooting, they break down mind stuff. Mind stuff. Hold up. It's cheetah. It's cheetah. The mind stuff. The mind stuff. And I think that would relate to your side. So we talking about hot, but all the Sifras have relationships with each other. With each other. How do you know that? Because here's hot and here's your side. And I already got cheetah. The mind stuff, the stuff that makes up the mind, the whole faculty of what makes up the mind to be able to analyze, process, and create images, the storehouses of images, your side. So they have a connection. Look, they have a connection. Hard in your side, the mind stuff. Nitsec, love, victory, and power. They all three have a connection. Also have a connection here, but they also have a connection here. All right, but we'll get to that. Hopefully, this video won't be too long. I don't know, but let's go. All right, I'm telling you, I'm giving those hints. A nigga has chosen a path. Nigga ran from it his whole life, not no more. In the hard hermetic school, we find out to handle the mind stuff. We figure out how to handle that shit that's going on in the mind. As any craftsman learns how to utilize the raw materials of his trade. That's the same way we got to handle the mind stuff. It is the Raphael impulse in us that makes us learn from injuries we inflict on ourselves that is curing our wounds on a level of wisdom. Let's see what else we got here. The Hermetic student. Hold up. A highly trained mind can refuse to accept pain messages from the brain. A highly trained mind can refuse to accept pain messages from the brain and so frees the soul from suffering. Magic, nigga. What these yogis doing, what these swamis doing, nigga. This is not so uncommon as might be supposed, since any chronic invalid develops the ability at least some small extent. Hold up. This is not did I skip over something? This is not so uncommon as might be supposed, since any chronic invalid develops the ability to at least some level small extent. They call it learning to live with a disability. The Hermetic student goes a step further and learns how to live by the disability or even beyond it altogether. You gotta go above living with a so called disability of a human mind and body. You don't shit on it and say, "Oh man, it's all fucked up," which a lot of us did. Which the word fucked up is evil, is this and this and that. You can go on with living with the disability, understanding exactly what it is and how you can use it to your benefit. Everything works in my favor. No obstacles will apprehend you. This is it. This is the same shit written in a different language. Thus, an ability, an ability of mind arises from a disability of body. It can be talking about physical body or etheric body or mental body or astral body. In healing lies learning. That is Raphael's message to man. It is not that we must be hurt in order to learn anything, but until we develop enough intelligence to avoid injuring ourselves in all ways, we shall continue suffering. It's the intelligence, nigga. We getting into intelligence. We getting into intelligence and what it has to do with the number 8 and what it has to do with hold and what it has to do with me and maybe what it has to do with you. I'm giving you this so you can go through your own shit and figure out who and what the fuck you are by giving my testimony, nigga. The glory of hold is our successful achievement of this state of mind. That's the glory that hold is representing. And Raphael will help us find it if we ask him. Creative use of thought is his specialty. What did I say? I've been in alignment with Ganesh. What did I say he did with his intelligence? His mom and daddy told him he can win his cosmic egg if him and his brother race around the universe and the first one to make it back. This nigga was intelligent enough to walk around his mom and his daddy, Shakti and Shiva, because they are the representation of the universe, and he won the egg. That's the same shit. Or it can be called Raphael. You get what I'm saying? When you line this shit up, it should all stand on principle, nigga. It shouldn't have to be forced. Nothing that I said about anything about my life or anything about this has to be forced. It aligns. It's just written in different contexts. The content is the same. So, so, and I pulled the Hermit card. The Hermit card was supposed to assist me in my journey of where I'm going and what I'm doing. I just hope this shit ain't chopping up, bro. That shit gonna have me hot. Um, and I've already felt that I was in it once I moved down here, but I was running from it. You see what I'm saying? I didn't want to, but at the same time, everything was pulling me back to study, to get more knowledge and more understanding, meditation, practice. Like everything was pushing me, but I'm slick still running from it. Then I finally just said, okay, fuck it. Fuck it. This is it. And I'm seeing signs and symbols, dreams, waking world, life, and it all points back to what? Hermit. I'm like, fuck. I do a reading a couple days ago. Boom. That's the card. Hermit. So I'm like, okay, what the fuck is up with this hermit shit? Right? Because you can also come over here to hold and look at what it represents. Okay, hold up. I'll give you some of the breakdowns they give it. In this book, The Practical Guide to Kabbalic Symbolism. And why did I choose 8? Oh yeah, can't forget this part. Well, 17 showed, bro. You know we are angel numbers, angel numbers. I ain't never been huge on that type shit, but I have been seeing the number 17. Obviously, I'm born on the 17th, right? The number 17, I have never seen 11, 11, 5, 5, 5, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, or none of that shit more than I have seen the number 17 these past 3 to 4 years. Every day, none fucking stop. Not one day missed. The shit, I've seen the number 17 so much it could drive me fucking insane. Literally. Literally. And I've been trying to get meaning and this and this and that to the point I'm just like, fuck it, bro. Okay, I see you. But in numerology, when you look at if they're not like a master number, you add them together and they become one. 1 plus 7, obviously 8. 8 is whole. Guess what? 8. Guess what else? Also 8 is. 8 is Mercury. So those people who are into astrology know what Mercury represents. 8 is Mercury. What day was I born on? I was born on a Wednesday. I can't make this shit up. I was born on a Wednesday. I'm a Cancer and I'm born on a Wednesday, the 17th. I can't make this shit up. I was born on a Wednesday, connected with Mercury. 17-1-8. So it's still, even if it, oh, well, nigga, you need to go to the 17th path. Okay, I got that too. Because there are 32 paths on a tree. I'm tapped into that too. You see what I'm saying? Mercury corresponds with the day that I was born. And it also, if you look at what I've told you about my life, it also corresponds with intelligence as well within my life that I have. And that's how we get to 8. That's how we get to whole. That's how we get to glory. And as you notice in William G. Gray book, he spoke a lot about hermetics, Hermes. We getting there. Because that also goes into the hermit. Fuck, nigga. The 8th path is called, grab it like I'm rapping, nigga. The 8th path is called the absolute or the perfect intelligence because it is the mean of the primordial, which has no root, but which it can cleave or rest, which has no root by which it can cleave or rest. Sounds like some action, some logistic type shit. Save in the hidden places of Gijula, which from emanates its proper essence. So let's read a little bit about what it says in here. Magical image. Understand, mature niggas. It says hermaphrodite, which means obviously it's what the Baphomet is, right? It's a balance between the masculine and feminine energies, right? The positive polarity and the negative polarity, the force and the form, right? Or even Purusha and Prakriti, right? The energy or the manifest reality, and then pure consciousness, the individual soul, the observer, the balance of the two. That's what that means. God name Elohim, Tzabaoth, Zatzaboth, Zotzaboth. I don't know. The archangel, and here it says Michael. A lot, a lot of people have different versions, but Raphael correlates more with me. Um, the order of angels is the Beni Elohim, sons of God. The virtue is truthfulness. It's my virtue. My virtue, obviously. But that's the virtue of this sphere. Spiritual experience, a vision of splendor. Oh, have I had those? The absoluthic color is violet purple. Absolute is one of the four worlds, right? Because you have absolute, you have Brig, you have Yetzirah, um, and then you have Asaya, which is the lowest one. But they still all divine, but the lowest aspect, which would be the more um apparent shit. As Asaya deals with like the elements, the zodiac signs, I think, and yeah, the elements, the planets, and the zodiac signs. All right. Um, the absolute thick color, violet purple. The Briatic color, orange. The the ascetic color, yellow, black, fickle, white. The vice is falsehood and dishonesty. The symbol is names and versicles and apron. I'll bring that up even more in another one. Um, let's see. Okay, the element. Okay, okay. Okay, see this one they actually bring up Michael with it, and it dealing with some fire, right? The element fire is that element which transmutes forms to a higher level, and is so associated with Michael by reason of the fact that he deals similarly with um unregenerate forms and forces. Fire is the purging element, as Michael is the purging archangel. As hard is a water Sephra, it may seem strange that the archangel of fire should be assigned to it. But the process of mentation of hard logic, science, then I say I pulled out the science card as well. The categorizing, the unknown into knowable structures is a shedding of light into dark places. And one of humanity's greatest fear is the fear of the unknown. Um, let's see. Hold up. Let's see up in here. Because there's a lot of shit, bro. Okay, well, I put a square around this. As it has already been mentioned on the NetSec, Thoth, Tahuti, Hermes, the Hermit, as it has already been mentioned. Hold up. Let's start up here. According to the Clement of Alexandria, the whole of the Egyptian religious philosophy was contained in the books of Thoth or Tahuti. I'm getting to a point. Thoth, the lord of books and learning, was regarded as the inspirer of all sacred writings and the teacher of all religion and philosophy. Furthermore, as Ambilicuous tells us, that's actually a name, so it's not umbilicus. It's Iamblichus. Tells us Thoth, Thoth was the president of all priestly discipline, and every Egyptian priest was held to be a priest of Thoth over and above his other priestly function because Thoth was the archetypical priest or hierophant, the oversoul of all priests. I'm telling you, because like I broke down, the archetype is is the individuality of the personality, something that won't be unchanged. That's what you incarnate. That's the energy you incarnated under. I incarnated under Mercury on a Wednesday. I've always been a student of this type of shit. even though I grew up obviously Christian, I grew up watching sci-fi movies, and I was also into history. I was also into geography. I was also into the science. Those were the only classes that I ever passed. Everything else I had 44s and 33s and 27s in. Them motherfuckers I had 99s, 98s, and 88s if I didn't do homework. Tests I was acing them motherfuckers. Anybody who know me knows I went to the school of arts and sciences. I can't make this shit up. Life Path 8. I can't make this shit up, bro, if I wanted to. As has already been mentioned under Netsec, Netsec is Venus. That's on the opposite side of the tree. I like to give examples to my niggas. It's Venus. It's on the opposite side of the tree. Guess what side it's on? It's actually on the male side, the mercy side. This is the feminine side. Hold is on the divine feminine side of the pillar. Venus is on the masculine side of the pillar, which is mercy. Have we learned this shit backwards? I don't know. That don't mean a lot of principles change, but maybe something changes once you understand that. This does not imply that, listen, check this out. Thoth can be regarded as the balancing power of the higher planes, as Orpheus is on the lower. This does not imply that one is greater than the other for all the Sephiroth, and thus all the planes are equally holy. So it's not that since Mercury and Netsec is at the bottom and Malkuth is at the bottom, which is where we live at, where we exist, it doesn't mean that it's the less holy. All of them are equally holy if you understand the tree and whole. I haven't got through this whole what's the name book. I'm just in chapter 13 on the Mystical Kabbalah. Maybe it's 20 something chapters in this motherfucker. And this is a dense, thick book. Telling you. And like Trav said, he read this shit multiple times to understand it. So some niggas read it one time. Okay, yeah, I know that. Okay, yeah, but I know that. Fuck them type niggas, bro. Because you're going to forever develop cycles. You're going to stack on top of your understanding. Your level of understanding is different from knowing. Yeah, it is different from knowing, but people saying they know because they intellectualize it. They break it down on a logical level, but it comes with a practice too and a self-realization with dealing with this shit too. Hod is at it as it is a lower reflection of Chesed. What's Chesed? Chesed is Jupiter. Chesed is Jupiter. Chesed also represents mercy and loving kindness. And I'm pretty sure Chesed, how it's broken down, Chesed is the graceful king. Yeah. Hold up. Yeah, to say it is broken down as this is how it's given. Right? So you can understand in human terms, just to say is the king that's living in grace and loving and kindness, and his whole kingdom is prospering. You see what I'm saying? And his whole kingdom is flourishing in arts and the sciences and cultivating culture, and everything's just blissful and nice and beautiful. And everything's just prosperity. Everything just prosperity. Everything is prosperous over in this motherfucker. Ain't no war. It's a balance. We good over here. You see what I'm saying? Ain't that what everybody going for? That's what Chesed represents. And it says, high is a lower reflection of Chesed. 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 Trying to say it in the way that they say it. Is a link between humanity and all teachers of the higher plane, whether they be masters, and they say in parentheses, that is highly evolved humans. That's what masters are. Or lords of mind. The lords of mind are perfected beings of a previous evolution. This is shit that comes from the cosmic doctrine. She breaks down the laws of mind, the laws of flame, the laws of fire, the laws of form. She breaks all that shit down in the cosmic doctrine, bro. The lords and then Obviously, a nigga links up with the Lords of Mind. The Lords of Mind are perfected beings of previous evolution in Hermes, Merlin, Buddha, and the individual spirit of Jesus of Nazareth. An example, Jesus as a part of the Christ force. I didn't make this shit up. Have been said to be of that evolution. Whether you believe any of these people existed or not makes me no difference. And you shouldn't worry about my opinion, which I don't believe they are physical human beings walking. But obviously, you have examples of these people that have existed that we can recollect back in consciousness. I mean, back in our recent history of the past couple hundred years, right? Maybe even that's been distorted. But Christ force energy, because we can get to Tippereth and talk about what that means. Well, they just broke it down what it means. The technique of teaching of Lords of Mind is always the linking up of some divine reason with a higher mind of man. In other words, they give knowledge of God. Christ energy, right there. The givers of knowledge of not of God. The givers of knowledge of God. Check this out. This is what I had to come to understand as distinguished. The givers of knowledge of God is distinguished from awareness of God, which last is the method of Venus, teachers such as Orpheus. So is that what made me talking about? We talking about the Orphic path? The Orphic path. Travis be saying the Orphic path, and I never paid attention. So listen, you have one side. So Venus is people, you can tell people. Yeah. Okay. Okay. People who deal with the nature of God. They probably more artistic, and they also deal with nature outside, sunbathing, grounding. Not saying that we can't, because you got to understand it's a blend of all this shit. It's no set. Oh, he is part of the Hermetic order, so he only deals with books and deals with magic and that type of alchemy. So he doesn't step out here into the grass and the green, and he doesn't do art. No, that's not what I'm saying. It's like I said with the three gunas. One is always more dominant, the other two still exist within you. One is always dominant. So so pay attention. You got to know who the fuck you are. Everybody may not meant to go this same way that I am, but also like I said, one is more predominant, so you can have a little bit of each, right? I don't think nothing should be wrong with niggas reading books. I was at a point where I ran from it and I didn't do it. So these past 2 years, I have been more involved in reading to intellectualize and bring to the conscious mind all these spiritual experiences that I have had. So I'm the point of to give knowledge of God. Then there are people who are here to recognize the awareness of God, which is the method of the Venus teachers such as Orpheus. The inner priesthood, known as the order of Prometheus and the order of Melchizedek, drive from Mercury and Venus, respectfully, though they are the forces of certain constellation working behind these planets. Hold up. Though there are the forces of certain constellations working behind these planets, it may be strange that Jesus should be considered in relation to Hermetic rate, as he is primarily a teacher on the love aspect of God. However, it must be remembered that no aspect can be considered without the others, and that they all interlink. Jesus is here. He's Tippereth, the Christ, the Son, Everything is connected to this motherfucker here. But we looking at whole connection. We looking at Venus, Netzach, connection. We looking at Yesod, connection. We looking at Malkuth, connection. We looking at Doth, knowledge, connection. We looking at the Father, the crown, Kether, connection. Obviously, the rest, all of them do. I'm just saying, but I'm just fuck you. However, it must be remembered that no aspect can be considered without the others, and that they all interlink. Many people are anxious to give themselves up to wisdom, in spite of the fact that they lack the necessary basis for it. What is that? What's the best necessary basis of wisdom? Because whose wisdom? Chokma, the three supernals, Abba, and fuck. Don't kill me. Um, fuck. It's Abba, the great father, and the great mother. And Bina would be that. Bina, which is Saturn, and Chokma. Matter of fact, the planets start here. The planets come out of Saturn. Ain't no other planets up here. Kether and Chokma, ain't no other planets up here. Because planets start forming in Bina. Planets are, if they're going to be formed, they need to be formed through severity. When you form shit, you have to shave extra shit off. And when you form shit, it has to be done through time. It ain't Saturn on as father time, or now maybe she can be mother time too, or because they also represent her as the bearded lady. So, but we're not gonna get into that. So, no, wisdom is chokma. Chokma. True wisdom cannot be okay. Mentally, okay, okay. Many people are anxious to give themselves up to wisdom in spite of the fact that they lack the necessary basis for it. What's that? This basis is love. What's love? Chesed got some love too, but Tippereth is love too, and beauty and balance. It's love. We would normally, what we would normally consider love, Venus, but Venus is victory and power. So the basis is love for compassion in its true sense, fertilizes wisdom so that right use is made of it. Many leaders of esoteric groups who, by their wisdom bias, are led to field of teaching have personalities in which the love aspect is not adequately developed. True wisdom cannot be present without other logodial aspects. Cosmic doctrine, logodial aspects. For as the Athanasian Creed says of the wisdom principle of the logos, it is neither made, created, nor born, but proceeding. It's neither created, made, or born, but always existing, nigga. It cannot be created or destroyed. The images of heart are not the same of Yesod, the treasure house of images. They call Yesod the treasure house of images. They are formed and made. They are forms and made. They are forms made and controlled by the mind and will and reflected in the great water temple of heart. The great water and temple of heart. These images of eternity often conceived and placed there by higher beings to be picked up by man and meditated upon to give subsequent revelation in the vision of splendor. That is the spiritual experience of heart. What's the spiritual experience of heart? Let's read that again. They are images of eternity, often conceived and placed there by higher beings to be picked up by man and meditated upon to give subsequent revelation in the vision of splendor. That is a spiritual experience of heart. The water of heart is not the elemental water, but the crystal clear well of truth. On a path to truth, nigga. The path of truth, nigga. So this is gonna be my last one I'm gonna get into. And the last one is, if we look at the hermit card, we'll look at the hermit card. Check this out. Because I'm a cancer too, right? I'm a cancer too, right? Am I a cancer? I'm a cancer too, right? So, and I'm also connected with Mercury, right? But I'm also connected with the moon, right? I can't make this shit up. The mythological attributes of the Egyptian Thoth give a general picture of the attributes of the Sephra Hod. He was depicted with the head of an ibis, whose long beak can be likened to the analytical mind picking out the morsels of truth from the swamps, from the swampy waters of falsity. I ain't never had that breakdown on why Tahuti is an ibis. So this nigga sharp beak can pick out the morsels of truth. Nigga, what's a morsel, nigga? You niggas, you niggas, you niggas ain't got no morsels, nigga. Where your morsels at, nigga? You niggas ain't really like us, nigga. You niggas ain't got where your morsels at, homie? Where your morsels? I ain't been as silly as I normally have on the other ones. I guess I'm really into it, but I'm not saying when I'm silly I'm not, but goddamn, I just been into it. We picking out morsels of truth, nigga. Okay? His beak can be likened to the analytical mind. The analytical mind, the analytical mind. If we go back to what we understand about Buddhi, which I jokingly say booty, but I don't want to pervert the word. That is the higher self. Fuck, should I? Like Trav said, the infamous page 45 in Top of Shooter. The easiest way to get to it, nigga. I already got it on my wall, but here's booty or buddy. Why that shit don't focus, bro? Like, is it something I can do with my shit? There's buddy. The highest, the highest aspect of the mind is called the higher self in the manifest reality, the highest aspect of mind that we can, what's the name? And it's actually a reflection of Purusha, which is the soul. It's a reflection of Purusha. These two get to looking back and forth at each other, like Hokmah and Kether, looking back at each other. They're going back and forth with each other. And then comes the Antakarana, or the Ahamkara, the individual ego. And then we get, is that Cheetah? Cheetah. Oh shit. I didn't know you niggas that close to me. That shit scary, boy. Then we get to Cheetah. And then we get the Manas. We are not gonna go because I know I can go on a tangent with that shit all day. But he said it represents the analytical mind, picking out the morsels of truth from the swampy waters of falsity. So you have to have that discernment, that level of higher intelligence and discernment to be able to pick out truths and falsities. How do you do that? By going through these experiences. How do you do that? By also grabbing books, nigga. Cause your ego, which is lower, which is the ahamkara, is below the booty, is gonna try to pick out what it likes. Yes, this is this. Yes, I'm a god. Yes, I'm a king. Yes, the black woman is God. Yes, nobody else is God. You see what I'm saying? Nothing else is God. The black woman is God. Or because I got melanin, I'm the most special person. I don't need to learn all that shit. My ancestors live within me, and I got all the divine wisdom of the universe inside of me. How do you access it? How do you use it? Because you can have all the building materials of a house, but nigga, how do you build the house without instructions, without practice? without a system, without experience. And these books are, I shouldn't have to explain that shit, man. He was also a moon god. I was bringing this back to bring in the moon. He is also a moon god, having a crescent moon upon his head, the heavenly body which brings reflected light to the dark hours of earth, as the reflection and symbols of the higher power of Chesed bring light. Chesed is Jupiter expansion, brings light to the mind of man and all. Look, it also says the city of eight which he was in, he was also a divine judge or balancer in his actions at the heavenly tribunal, before which the implicable enemies Horus and Set appeared, earned him the title he who judges the two companions. We know what Horus and Set is: the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. And Hermes, Tahuti, Thoth sits in the middle and balances and judges. The analytical mind is judging. It's picking out this. Okay, that's true. That's balance. That's true. That's balance. That's ignorance. That's destruction. That's this. It's all. It's not people. You should know that by now. It's all linked together. Now, as I went through, took notes on the 20th path. That's hope. Because we can go through the 32nd path, but shit, fuck it, man. I'm going through all that. You niggas can look it up. I gave you the books to look up the 32nd path and what it means. It was given to me, and I hopped on it. You should hop on it. Why you ain't hopping on it? But there's some shit I need to do quick. Fuck it, I'll bring this up first. So these are the paths. This is for people who don't know. A lot of people do know. These are the paths. Each one of these are represented by a tarot card. And also there's 32 paths, but even the Sephra themselves, 10 in number, technically 11, but 10 in number are the other 10 add on to the 22, which makes 32. They too also have tarot cards um um corresponded with them. So if we're gonna go to the 20th path, because I broke all this down to the hermit, I don't think you the thing is like, because this is the path now doesn't mean this is your path for the whole life expansion. You see what I'm saying? Because you can go through different paths. You go through different paths, but the point that a nigga's at now, right? That's what's important. Oh damn, they even got numerology in here. I should have added that with it, but okay, 199. I know I had this shit. What's the name? But I got so many pages. Damn. And I also look at the 17th path, which is Zane, which is the lover's card. And I had when I had my first spiritual breakthrough, like that was like fucking, oh my God, bro. That shit was magnificent, bro. That's one of the cards that I remember the most. Cause I did a reading at that right then and at that point. I did a read and pulled out my cards. And what I remember the most was the lover's card. And you know, once I read this the other day, I didn't finish reading it. That's why I'm bringing it to here. I got like 4 pages in on it. It's not what folks be doing when they be doing tarot card readings. They don't get into this shit, bro. They don't get into what was broken down here. Because it's actually the balancing of the masculine and the feminine energies, the conscious mind and subconscious mind, to bring about the superconscious mind. But okay, uh, Bro, why am I not at path 20 yet? I said 199. Oh, here we go. It's called the Path of Yod, niggas. The Path of Yod. Yod meaning Yod Hey, Val Hey. Yod Hey, Val Hey. Yod Hey, Val Hey. Yod Hey, Val Hey. 4 elements. The name of God. I take that back. I know it deals with the 4 elements, but the name of God, I don't want to miss. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. Yod Hey, Val Hey. So this is the path of Yod. And we dealing with Yod, from my understanding, Yod, when you're dealing with the tarot card, it's wands. The wands deal with Yod. The wands also deal with Kether. Yeah. And fire. Right? And the wands, when you're dealing with Yod and wands, that's dealing with the Absolute, the archetypical world, the ten sephira are the divine names of God. In the Absolute world, remember there's 4 worlds: Absolute, Bria, Yetzirah, and Asaya. 4 different worlds. And a tree exists inside each 4 of those fucking worlds. Let's see. Is this a good representation? See, like this is the tree. It's so boy. That might not be the best representation for what I was trying to say, but boy, god damn it, it gets real. So, the path of Yod. So, I'm gonna just read the highlighted. And as we consider, okay, the path of Yod connects with Tippereth. 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 Told you that's Christ. A lot of the sacrifice gods. All of them deal with this energy right here. Tippereth. The sun. Beauty. Balance. The path of Yah connects with Tibereth, the Christ Buddha Center, and Chesed, the architect of manifestation. In brief, it represents the self-sustained primal beginnings of manifestation. It is the very point of origin of our manifest universe, in direct contact with the divine source of all. It is the path from the demiurge out of darkness. It is the coming of light of manifestation through microproposis. Insofar, and they say insofar in here like INSOFAR. Gareth Knight says the same thing, and Dion Fortune says the same thing. They think they slick, and William G. Gray says the same thing. Insofar, ain so far, the triple darkness, triple blackness of space. For those that hear it, they hear it, brother. Okay. Okay. This is what it says. And as we consider Bina in the image of the deep dark, endless waters, we may envision the desert as a crystallization or perception out of Bina's vast sea of consciousness. And they say that because it's actually Mercury or Hold is actually sitting in the same pillar as Bina. It's actually sitting in the same pillar as Bina. Bina is at the top. Bina rules this shit, which is Saturn, the great mother, Big Mama. The black woman is God. All right. The hermit is an expression of the same energy as the fool. It is at once the wise old age of the child of the Golden Dawn Fool card and the virgin beginning a new sequence. Starting a new. All right, bro. It is the purity and innocence of the fool as it is transformed in the projection of the micropropose through Bina, The idea that the fool card, which represents the child, is at the same time the hermit, which represents the old man. He's gained wisdom now. He's gained understanding now. So he's gained aspects of Chokma and Bina, wisdom and understanding. May the is at the same time the hermit, the old man, may best be understood by meditating on the snake which holds its tail in its mouth, the traditional symbol of wisdom. If you look at the hermit card has the snake wrapped around the cosmic egg, nigga. You niggas ain't kidding it. Because I don't want to go through all that. But the serpent, the eight. I've been telling you the whole time about the eight. We're in the year of the eight. We're in the sphere of the eight. The snake biting and eating his tail. Cycles. Cycles. Nigga. Snake. Dragon. You watch my other videos talked about dragons and how they've shown up. We talking about this. Eight cycles. Snake, which is a sign of wisdom. It should be meditated upon. Are you doing it? Should you do it? Has anything to do with you? Probably not. Am I doing it? Fucking right. Most important is that the hermit represents communication between the higher self of Tippereth, the Ruach. Shout out to Trav for doing that 5-hour video when I first started really tapping into his shit. Breaking down the three gunas and breaking down the three levels of the soul. The Ruach, the higher self, Tippereth, and the spiritual self of Kether, the Yudak, the Yakada. So, the hermit represents communications, right, between the higher self and the spiritual self, the highest of the self, which Kether actually represents the higher self. Okay, because Trav has a breakdown, um, like with this cosmic air where it has Buddhi, Ahamkara, the five sense indriyas, then Asaya, Malkuth, and Prithvi all together inside this egg, and on the outside of that egg is the soul. But that's not here or there. All right. It should be pointed out that these experience of all these paths may be gained on the path of the high priestess. The path not only encompasses all paths above Tibereth, but crosses the abyss with its devastating experience of divine recollection through isolation. This idea is supported by Sefer Yetzirah, which attributes sexual love to the simple letter Yod. Why are we talking about Yod? Yod is the symbol that's actually on the hermit card. In the Aleister Crowley, in the damn, there's that 8. And I didn't even think about this is the Thoth deck. That's the one I got. I've had these cards for years. Barely knew how to read them. Now I'm getting a better understanding of my boy Aleister Crowley. Not my boy, but Aleister Crowley. And they go to 8. And there yin and yang inside of it too. Masculine and feminine, not positive, negative. Force and form. Severity and mercy. Side to 8. Damn, I didn't even think about that shit. That shit crazy as hell. Alright, I can't make this shit up, bro. The sexuality, though, is self-contained and self-sustaining, a quality cryptically described in the Golden Dawn documents as prudence. Yod is related to Kether, not only insofar, there you go with that shit, as it is isolated and self-contained, but also in that it forms the graphic root for all other letters of the Hebrew alphabet. Nigga, the Yod is the very essence of spiritual fire within the micropulse. I wonder that mean I need to look that word up. Like the microcosm. The fire within the microprosopus. It is thus an aspect of chokma, force. Force is on the masculine side. Force is on the masculine pillar, the right pillar. When you're looking at it, subjectively. But when you look at yourself on the inside of it, it's on the left. It is the All Father in manifestation below the abyss, which is related to the Logos. The concept of Logos, while not at all difficult, is often misunderstood. Logos is a Greek term usually considered to mean word. In the beginning, God's was the Word, and the Word was with God. Logos, Son, Logorio, which came to represent the principle of both Greek and Hebrew metaphysics. In the simplest possible terms, the Logos is a link, an intermediary between God and man. The same is true for any sacrifice god, including Christ, Osiris, or Buddha. On the tree of life, Tibereth is the objective Logos, the objective center of energy produced by the demiurge. Just said, don't get scared of the demiurge. What Trav be saying, don't get scared of the demiurge, nigga. Nigga scared, they running. As a direct link to the lower with the higher. But in terms of the paths, which are subjective, right? The link is on the path of Yod. This is to say that while objectively Tippereth is the Logos center, subjectively, in order to understand this transitional energy, we must rise above Tippereth toward Chesed through what? The hermit. The hermit may be considered a word. The hermit may be considered in quotations, a word, in parentheses, vibration. I've always music. Here I am on YouTube now, and I speak to people and I talk. I can't give y'all too much, but like I meet more people than your average person does, and have interactions with them in a close vicinity. I talk to people, and you know what be the brightness of my day when I can talk to somebody who going through some shit, bro, and give them that little piece of light. That look, because everybody's not on this level, so I'm not gonna break down. Well, you know Tahuti, and then you know the Sefer of Yod, and then you know Ketha is really come from the unmanifest manifest that reverberates down to the Makuthist, and then shoots back up into the Yasodic nature of the Tippereth, and then we got to go through Daf, brother. But you can't get through Daf with your ego. I can't talk to them like that. You see what I'm saying? So I talk to them in a way that they can understand. You see what I'm saying? And that gives me life. That gives me that makes me feel good that people know that they can heal. It's not that it makes me feel good because oh yeah, I did that. Fuck that, bro. That's the most selfish shit you can do. This shit pure out of love. It makes me feel good that people know that there is hope within themselves if they look within themselves because everything that I give them points right back to themselves. For them, they can fix it. You can fix your situation. You can fix your insecurities. You can fix your hurt. Your you can heal. You can do it. The power is within, nigga. Not in me. Not in Panic. Not in Bobby Hemmett. Not in Trav. They have their power within them and they can express it out, and you can take what they give you to go back within. Nigga. While the hermit is often considered a Christ figure, he is better related to Moses, who led his people across the same Egyptian desert in which um monotheistic development cultures, monotheistic, basically believing in one God, developed centuries later. Moses was the first related to the Logos by an early Gnostic sect, taking its name from the Simon Magus described in the Acts of the Apostles. These Simonian Gnostics of the second century CE believed that the books of Exodus was an allegory of the soul being led by the Logos. Was the Logos Moses? These people didn't exist. We should know this by now. They are allegorical. stories. Everything we've been reading about is allegories of certain specific energies in the manifest reality, and it's in the soul going through these stages to get back. No, the soul going through paths, these 32 paths to get back to God, Godhead. They were on the book of Exodus was an allegory of the soul being led by the Logos, Moses, through the desert of life into the spiritual promised land. In other terms, Moses is Thaumaturge, the arch magician. His staff is a wand of enormous power which strikes water from a rock and turns into a serpent at his bidding. The later act refers to the use of Kundalini energy or Yod, Kef. Okay. By force of the Kundalini force by the adept magician. The force is the sacred fire, which is the essence of the logos transmitted by the phallic wand. In this regard, the hand. Okay, now we're into another part. In this regard, the hand, man's ultimate creative tool, is attributed to Yod. The hermit is the very hand of God. So let's see what else. The open hand represents the hermit as a prophet, the completed adept. When his hand is open, that's what it represents. So if you're looking at it and you see the hermit with an open hand, that's what it means. Guess what? My third card was completion. Can't make this shit up. Even better, nigga. I ain't got my phone. Fuck, he called me from 855 numbers. Damn. I had notes of what I was gonna talk about. I just went completely off of that. But we finna get ready to end this shit. I'm not trying to go 3 hours. Where's the picture of the card that I took? So you know I ain't capping. This was done. Damn, look. Can y'all see it? I even took the picture on a fucking Wednesday. Man, so sad shit, man. But I did my reading on a Wednesday, bro. At 11:49 p.m. I don't want to see. I don't want y'all to see the whole reading, but there, the Hermit, the Science up there. That's the Science card, which is a 6 of Swords, and then you got the Hermit card in the middle, and then at the end you got Completion, a 4 of Wands. When you're dealing with four, that's Chesed, that's Jupiter, that's expansion, and also mercy, loving, and kindness. So nigga ain't studying you niggas, cause I'm getting an understanding of who the fuck I am. I'm doing it so you can get to yours and have a kabbalistic breakdown of it. All right, all right. Mercury, the Hermit, and the path of okay. And so far, the Hermit is the adept magician. He is the agent of the supreme will, and as such, the 32 paths of wisdom calls the 20th path the intelligence of will. The 20th path is called the intelligence of will. There is a strong link between the Hermit and the path of the magician, which is the intelligence of transparency. Since Virgo is ruled by Mercury, which my moon is in Virgo, this means the philosophic Mercury ultimately directs the course of Yod, the fire, on the paths. Okay? The hermit could be called the first earth, within which a sacred fire operates. Okay? And then, okay, see, they breaking down what is showing in the card. Okay. Other of the four version, only Crowley's cards which is the one I have here. Only Carly's card suggests that the hermit actually has motion and activity. He suggested that it's registic or rajas and activity, which is essential to the yard. And as usual, his card requires more explanation than others. He emphasizes, for example, the idea that the hermit is rooted in Bina by cloaking him entirely in red. So I ain't got to go through the dick and look for it. Cloaked entirely in red. Let me show that while I read it. He is cloaked He is cloaked. Hold up. He is cloaked entirely in red. So he is rooted in Bina, the great mother. The black woman is God. Right? Saturn. Before the red figure is the Orphic egg. Up there, there go the egg. And it's wrapped with the serpent, but here it goes. The Orphic egg with a serpent wrapped around it. In the ancient Orphic mysteries, this signified the cosmos encircled by the fiery spirit, Prakriti, circled by Purusha, which is Yod. That's what I'm saying, bro. This shit is in the Eastern mysteries and this shit is in the Western occultism, and they get it from Egypt and they get it from Chaldea or Kurd, whatever the fuck Moses they say Moses was from, in Babylonia and all that shit. It comes from everywhere. You have to be able to connect all this shit. You don't, which is Yah. Behind the figure is a Cerberus, the three-headed dog. Check this out. Three-headed dog. See it down there? Behind this is a figure called Cerberus, the three-headed dog, who guards the gates of hell and who has been tamed by the hermit. What did I tell y'all? When I learned about these three gunas, Purusha is outside of these three gunas. When I said I had that vision of the three heads, Mount three heads, and arguing, one tell them to do this, one tell them to do this, and it was one that was observing it. The three gunas, the three-headed dog, three gunas. You see? See, they say your phone be taking pictures. Y'all see that shit flashing? Imagine that motherfucker catching your ass while you on Pornhub. Anyway, so these three gunas are being mastered. That's what that symbolizes. Because when we see the threes, I'm learning from Trav. When you see the threes, you got to know three gunas: Rajas, Sattva, and Thomas. And it's been tamed by the hermit, which means he has tamed that nature. He has overcome the three gunas. The supermentate, the spermatate, the sperm Atazun is a symbolic of the Yah energies in the material world, while the staff, which transmutes the sexual force, is completely hidden. Okay. Oh, see? The sperm. Okay. The sperm Atazun is symbolic of the Yod energy in the material world. Solar phallic energy, sperm in the material world. Is that what your sperm is? I thought so. That's what we've always heard. As Crowley states in the Trump is shown the entire mystery of life in its most secret working is inside this card. Yod, the phallus, spermatozoon, hand, and the logos, the virgin. The last symbol to be considered is the lamp. You see that lamp? Which in all virgins refers to Tippereth and makes a statement about the very nature of light. This means that the light, hold up, light in Extension. This means that the light is the principle of manifestation, that on which all of creation is built. So that the hermit may be said to represent a glyph of the nature of primal before manifestation, or primal manifestation beneath the abyss, and of the relationship between light and the sacred fire symbolized by Yod. I don't think I need to tell y'all else. Yod, one would expect that the placement of the letters Yod, Hey, and Vow on the tree of life would have profound meaning. Thus, it is particularly intriguing to realize that these letters work together as a trinity from Chesed to Tippereth to Chokmah and back to Chesed. Yod is the hermit. Yod is the hermit. Yod is the hermit. My birthday tomorrow. We're gonna get fly. Put that shit on. Damn. I'm sitting on my goddamn shirt. We're gonna get fly. Do all that other shit, but stop fighting it, bro. I'm still get fly. That's part of me and it's part of my personality. But tomorrow I ain't doing all that extra shit. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see. I'm kicking it. I'm relaxing. I'm vibing with myself, accepting the path that I've came into. Putting in the work. A life path 8, bro. Like 33 years, bro. I'll be 33. 33. You can even look at the number 6. What does that connect with? What does that connect with? Tippereth, the Christ figure, the sacrificed gods. She has it here. You see that cross right there in the middle? The 6. 33. Christ died at 33. I'm not dying physically. What I'm saying is I've sacrificed other aspects or other things for this path. I've had to. And it's been leading up to this point. And it's crazy that I come into this point in my 33rd year. Obviously, it really starts, I guess it starts on tomorrow, but nigga, this whole year was starting of my 33rd year. You see what I'm saying? And I made this decision. Obviously, the YouTube started this year. You see what I'm saying? 33. Life Path 8. I encourage you. It's way more research that I've done. Way more. Way more. You niggas just don't see my disc, but it's already finna be 3 hours, 2 hours and 47 minutes. I encourage you to do your own working and studying on your life path. And I don't mean like, oh, what's my life path number? This, and that. That's simple as fuck. Take it deeper. Take the shit deeper. And allow yourself to remove your ego from what you want to be and accept what the fuck you are. Accept what the fuck you is, dog. Accept what you are and work with that energy. Watch this shit turn out right. As always, what's this always? No obstacles will apprehend you. Prosper over pain. Oh yeah, like, comment, and subscribe, bitch. You done watched all this shit. You ain't like, comment, or subscribe. God damn. Shit.